Hi, I'm Heidi with Onigo Stamping. Welcome to my craft corner. I am so excited today because I have a fun card design to share with you that uses all sorts of bits and pieces of pattern paper. Pattern paper is so gorgeous and it is so hard to throw away those little scraps. So that is why today's card is so awesome, because it's going to use those little scraps to make a fabulous fun card design. I can't wait to share it with you. Before I get started, I want to let you know that all of the pattern papers that I am using in today's video will be discontinued on May 3rd, and they are going fast. They're while supplies last, so if you like them, make sure that you jump over to Stampin' Up! And you get some ordered before they're gone. On May 4th, we have a brand new catalog coming out, and it is filled with all sorts of gorgeous new pattern paper that you are going to absolutely love. If you want to get your hands on that catalog, or you want to maybe attend my catalog kickoff party, I would love to have you there. Go ahead and hop over to my website or to subscribe to my newsletter for more information. You're going to find all the links to my website, my Facebook page, my newsletter, as well as over to my website to see more description of today's cards and the cutting dimensions and still photos. All of that is in the description to this video right below. Of course, if you liked today's video, make sure that you like it, subscribe it, and share it with your friends. All right, Oni go! Let's get stamping. I'm going to be working with the Playful Pets Designer Series paper to create a really fun card design. And what I have here is a bunch of scraps, because we all have scraps, don't we? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and kind of cut some of them up into some different widths. And I'm using my old guillotine trimmer. This Stampin' Up! came out with this a couple years ago. It was a recruiting special, a join special that came out, and it's perfect for cutting up these little strips. You can do it with your regular paper trimmer too, but I just find it really easy to use a little guillotine trimmer like this. And I'm not even measuring, I'm just cutting different sizes. Some wide and some skinny. And I'm probably cutting way more than what I actually am going to need to make one card, but that's okay. All right, let's see. Actually, let's cut some of this the other way too. And I'll grab some of this too. I'm going to cut this down to about like 2 3/4 inches. That's about all we need as far as length. I'm trying to cut these straight. If they aren't perfectly straight, it's not a big deal. Let's grab a couple more of these. Just to get a lot of different stuff here. Okay, let's see if that is enough. Let's go ahead and set some of this aside. See if I got, I'm not sure that I want the dogs this time around, so we'll go with this. All right, now I have a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 inch basic black cardstock, and I'm just going to start by folding this in half. I have scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to fold it, give it a good crease with my bone folder. And now I'm going to glue down these strips on the edge. So I'm just going to start by grabbing my adhesive, and I'm going to put some adhesive down just on the bottom portion of this piece. Trying to get all the way to the edges and just put down some adhesive. Go, and now I will start layering in these pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and let them kind of come off the end of the paper a little bit, just because then we'll trim it up and make it all nice and neat. I've varied all the different pieces here. I've gotten them all stuck down. And now what I want to do is I want to cut off this edge. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer and I am just going to turn over my card and line this up and just give that a nice cut straight across there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the side too. Got a little bit of the cardstock, but that's okay. So there is the card front so far. Don't worry about this edge. We're going to cover that up. Just going to set this aside, push away all my extra scraps. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to use the Quite Curvy or the Curvy dies. I have out the one that we're going to use, but this is the Curvy dies. They do go with the Quite Curvy stamp set, and there's a couple different curves. We're going to use this one with the dots. So I'll go ahead and set that aside. And then I have a piece of basic black cardstock. It is cut to be 5.5, just like this. And I just want to cut off a nice portion, kind of cut this in half. It's going to be about like this on the front. I'm just going to cut this with this die. I have the piece of black that I have cut with that Quite Curvy, and you can see this makes this beautiful dotted line across here. I also have a piece of real red that I've also cut with the Quite Curvy dies, and I am going to layer these up and put some adhesive on the back of the piece of basic black. And I haven't really measured this. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to trim it after I adhere it. So I'm just lining these up, and you'll notice I didn't even try to make those curves the same. I kind of just wanted them, I wanted them to go out of whack. I didn't want them to run exactly parallel. I like the way that curve just kind of flows through there. So now I will take this and put this in my trimmer, and we will just leave a nice little edge on the red like that. That's even a little bit bigger than what I want. I like a really tiny little edge. There we go. And then I do need to clean up the edge of this black, and I think I'm going to grab that little guillotine trimmer too again, because this is really good for catching these tiny little edges. Oops. Not quite enough. There we go. So now those are all perfectly lined up and beautiful. This is going to go on the front of our card. Isn't that going to be fun with that designer series paper poking out the bottom? So cute. For this card, I'm going to finish it up with the Hot Dog stamp set. Love this set. It's in the January to June mini catalog. I've cut a piece of basic white cardstock with the Tasteful Labels dies. So I have that, and I'm going to start by stamping a dog on here, of course. So I'm going to stamp this little puppy dog on here. We'll ink him up with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink and just stamp him right on that label. There, oh, he's so cute. And we're going to give him a little tie around his neck. One of the reasons I really like this set is all the little pieces that you can stamp to create something different every time. I'm going to stamp his little beret on his head. And then I have a piece of, this is like a 1/4 inch strip. I just keep all of my strips. I'll show you, look at this. I have this whole bin right on my desk, just like this, and it is filled with the strips. So when I'm trimming down cardstock, and you're left with a 1/4 inch or an inch of cardstock left, I just go ahead and I stick it in that bin. I probably will need to clean it out soon. It's getting kind of full. But that way I always have these little strips for doing little words or sentiments. They just work out really well. You could also do this. I have a whole thing of colored ones. You could, instead of using your designer series paper, you could use colored cardstock there. That would work as well. So then I'm just going to take my scissors, I'm going to take my paper snips and just trim this up. You could do this with your trimmer, of course, but I find it's just as easy just to use my snips and just trim it out how I want it. All right. So that says bonjour, our cute little puppy dog. We can see how this is starting to come together. We're gonna go like this. Isn't that gonna be fun? All right, let me take this puppy and let's give him some color, right? Because we don't want an uncolored puppy dog. I'm gonna start by coloring his little hat. I'm just gonna take my Stampin' Blends. This is actually the Poppy Parade, but it works, it's the dark, and it works really well with the real red cardstock. So I'm just gonna color in his little hat and his scarf in red. Oh, he's so cute. He's such a cute puppy. And then let's make this a gray puppy dog, shall we? So I'm gonna start with some gray granite, starting with the light one. And I'm just gonna color him all in the lighter color. And this will just take a minute using the brush tip to kind of really do some fast coloring. And I turn around my piece of paper to make it easier to get to the parts that I want. Because I like that tip. That tip is really good for getting in to the edge. Go. Come back in here and do it this way. And then I'm going to come back with the dark gray granite. And we'll do some shading here. I'm going to do along his back and his back of his leg. Probably come in under his ear. Just shade this in a little bit. Come in his ear, add a little shading there, add a little shading to the top of his head. Let's come in here. All right, then I'm going to come back with the light, kind of go over the edges here a little bit, blend it down in. He's looking pretty cute. Now I'm going to use the color lifter, and this usually will do something a little bit fun with this gray granite. Is it's going to kind of give it a mottled look when I go over the whole thing like this, which just kind of makes him look like more like a puppy. Right? So just kind of going over the whole thing, giving him a really nice puppy dog look. All right. What do you think? He's looking pretty good. And I just, I have this thing with floating images. So I'm just going to take a little bit of light crumb cake and put that kind of underneath to just kind of, give him a little bit of a shadow, something to stand on. I'm going to grab that color lifter again and just go over that a little bit to kind of blend out the edges. There we go. So there is our puppy dog. And now we can start to put this whole thing together. I have some of the Playful Pets ribbons here. And I'm not really sure what I want to do here. Let's see. Let's see what we come up with. Try to keep this straight on the back. why don't we just try tying this in a knot, maybe? There we go. And then trim the edge. And I have, this comes in a 2-pack with a black and white ribbon as well, or a kind of a baker's twine. So how about, let's see what this looks like. I haven't actually like used these together. I've mostly used them separately. So I'm not quite sure if this is going to work, or if it's going to be too much, right? Try to turn my bow a little bit here. Get it going in the direction I want it to be in. Because we're going to kind of come in here with, I wish this red would come over and like go sideways more. All right, because we're going to come in here. Things that aren't working very well. We're going to come in here and layer him up over the edge, I think, here. Or maybe we'll put him underneath. Which do we think? Maybe he will go underneath. All right, so we'll adhere our little puppy dog. I'm gonna leave the far right side kind of undone there in case it falls over the edge. I'm gonna slide him right in there. This is all the fiddling I do all the time. Let's unravel those ends a little bit. Look like a puppy dog has been chewing on them. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to put this front on with some dimensionals. Should be pretty good. Grab my Take Your Pick tool and we'll grab the backs off of here. All right, and then this is going to go right on the front, just like that. And I want to add this bonjour with some dimensionals as well. I'm going to use the minis. If I can find my sheet of minis, here's my minis. All right, and this, okay. We're just going to go on one side though, because that knot is going to be underneath the other. So grab those backs off and let's see if we can do this. All right, come on. There we go. What do you think? Not too bad, huh? Isn't he cute? Isn't that a fun technique? And then of course we can grab a piece of basic white cardstock, and this is cut to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And we'll go ahead and, I know I have some sort of a strip here. Oh, this will be good. So I'm just going to take another extra piece. This is what I like to do for the inside of my cards. Often I will do this, is just to put a strip of designer series paper inside to match. It just kind of helps, you know, give the inside of the card a little bit of something too. Just glue that down. I'm going to take my paper snips and I just line those right up against the edge of my cardstock and snip off the top. And then we'll put this on the inside of the card. And I have more samples for you that I'm going to show you in just a second. Using all different cardstocks, or all different pattern papers, I should say. All right, so we'll just put this right inside, just like that. And there we go. Isn't that cute? Oh, he's so cute. Love it. All right, let me show you the other samples that I have. So I did a couple with the, what is it called? The Peony Garden paper. So here is the first one. Here's the first one using the To a Wild Rose stamp set. Isn't that cute? With gray granite and petal pink. So that's really fun. And then I did another one with the Country Home. And this sentiment comes from the Terrific Tulip stamp set. So again, oh, so pretty. And then I had some kind of more masculine ones that I thought would be great for graduations, right? So this is with the Quite Curvy stamp set that I embossed this with copper, which we don't have copper embossing powder right now, but we are going to have it next week. But all of these pattern papers that I am using, these are all going to be discontinued next week. But isn't this pretty with the copper? And just a fun hooray for you. And then I have another one that says congratulations. And just really, you know, really nice and easy. Great way to use up all of those pattern paper scraps that you have. And then I have one more with the gorgeous Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. I know this was everybody's favorite this year, and the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. Wasn't that a fabulous card design? I just love that curve and the way that all those little strips show on the edge. Ah, so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked today's video, make sure that you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and then come on back and see me for more tips, techniques, and inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.